Hello students, welcome to the online classes of geography of class 8. This is the third class of geography of chapter 2, land and soil resource, and in the previous class we have already started the topic of the soil resource. Now just a rectification is there to be done. It was just a printing mistake in note 2 under that formation of the soil factor, the cloth part, the parent bedrock. The quality of the rock is written over there. It will be the quality of the soil depends upon the original rock. So just do this rectification. It was just a typing mistake. Sorry for that. Now I am proceeding with today's topic, types of soil. Now there are various types of soil on various bases. Normally we used to say that what type of soil? It's a fertile soil, or it is an infertile soil, or it is a sandy soil, it's a clay soil, red soil, black soil. So there are many names that is given to the type of the soil. So today we will discuss about the types of the soil. Now under this category, what is the first basis for the classification? It is on the basis of fertility. On the basis of fertility, there are two types. Number one, fertile soil. Number two, sterile soil. In Hindi, we use the word urvar and usara. Urvara and usara. Fertile means that is very much beneficial for the cultivation of the crops, and sterile, that is not at all good for the cultivation of the crops. Why? Because it lacks all the important nutrients that is needed for the cultivation of the crop. So the first classification on the basis of fertility, fertile soil, sterile soil. Next classification is on the basis of soil formation. Now we all know that formation of the soil is basically done with the help of, means a natural process, that is weathering, erosion and deposition. So these three processes are continuously activating for the formation and for the destruction of the soil. But where there is a formation, there is a destruction, or where there is a destruction, there is a formation. It is just a simultaneous process, a interlinked process. So on the basis of soil formation, the soil types are of two. Number one, transported soil. Number two, residual soil. Now transported soil, let me explain it. What is the work of erosion? When any parts of the rock, or when any particles of the rocks are weathered out, are broken up, they move from one place to another place. Who help for this movement? Who help for this mobility? It is by the various agents of erosion, that is running water, wind, then other human activities, glaciers. There are many natural agents, there are many man-cultural agents. So this transportation of the weathered particles, they go and settle down where they get the obstruction. So when any type of soil is formed due to this transportation of the weathered particle, that is termed as transported soil. And what is residual soil? Residual means left over. That is, after the transported, what is left out? Some part is left out. After the transported of the weathered rock particle, some material is left out over there of that weathered rock matter. So that is termed as residual soil. So on the basis of formation of soil, the types are number one, transported, number two, residual. Now normally the soil grains, that is the size of the soil grains. There are three categories of the soil grains. Number one, which is very much larger or coarser, medium and finer. So on the basis of this, we are having three categories of soil. That is, we term it as a soil, size of the soil grains or composition. The larger grains of the soil is termed as sandy soil. The medium one is termed as silty soil or loamy soil. And the third one is termed as clay soil, the finer one. Okay, sandy, the soil where the percentage of sand is maximum. silty or loamy where equal proportion of sand, silt and clay is there, and clayey soil where the percentage of finer particles, that is clay, is maximum. So these are the three categories of soil on the basis of, that is, composition or the structure of soil grains. Now the last one, that is on the basis of the color and its nature. Already I said that red soil, black soil, then comes the yellow soil. There are many categories of soil on the basis of its color and nature. So there are altogether 6 types of soil. The very common names that you have heard maybe in the junior classes or in your general knowledge. Now the first one is alluvial soil, which is normally greyish in color. Now how it is formed? It is a transported soil. That means it is being formed by the agents of erosion, by the deposition of sand, silt and clay. Basically clay is very less, sand and silt is very important or more. So the soil type is very fertile. It is a loamy type of soil. And where it is found, you can see the map that is given in the, I'll explain it with the help of the map in the next part. Let me proceed with the detail, that is the detailing up, then I'm going to explain with the help of the map. Where it is found in the northern plains. I'm explaining, naming the state: Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, parts of Assam and the eastern coastal plain. So in these areas the alluvial soil is found. And what are the important crops that is grown over here? Wheat, rice, maize, pulses, sugarcane. These are the crops that is grown. Even jute, which is also grown in this alluvial category of soil. The second one is black soil. Now it is also termed as regur soil or black cotton soil. The word regur means jet black, deep black. That is why it is termed as regur soil. And why it is termed as black cotton soil? Because cotton is the important crop that supports that is supported by this type of soil. So it is also termed as black cotton soil. Now how it is formed? It is formed by the weathering of volcanic rocks. Volcanic rocks means the rocks which is formed due to the accumulation of the lava that is resulted due to the volcanic eruption. And here the particles of the soil is very fine. The gap between the grains are very less. So it is not a porous soil. It is very much sticky type of soil. So it is termed as clay soil. And this is a residual soil. That means after the breaking of the igneous rocks or the volcanic rocks, the particles that have been moved or transported to somewhere else and the leftover particles that is present over there gives the formation of this type of soil. It is a black soil. And as what I said, the particles or the grains are very small. The gap between the particles is very less. So when we pour water over there, it quickly absorbs the moisture, and as the gap is not there, it is able to hold the moisture for a longer period of time. So its retention capacity of the moisture is very high. Now where it is found? Basically it is found in the plateau region, that is Deccan Plateau, parts of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. And already I said cotton is the important crop, followed by sugarcane. Now next is red soil. By the name it is clear what is the color of the soil? Red. Now this one is also formed due to the weathering of igneous rock. Now previous one also igneous rock, here also igneous rock. So why this one is red in color, why it is not black in color? Because in this soil the presence of iron content is more. Now the iron content that is left out due to, this is also a residual type of soil. The particles that have been broken up due to the weathering or that is being fragmented out due to the weathering, it is being blown away or it is being transported by various agents, and the left out part is the iron content. So the iron content that is left out, it is giving the color to the soil. Due to this iron content, the soil is red in color. Now when the soil is having more iron content, what does this indicate? The soil is not at all a fertile soil, and as a result it does not have the capacity to hold the moisture. Now where it is found? It is found in the parts of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, Chhattisgarh and parts of northeastern states. The crop, as it is not a fertile soil, so what is the resultant? The crops are very less in number to be cultivated over here. The oilseeds and the millets. Millets means the drought resistant crops. And one more thing, over here the rainfall is very less and the temperature is comparatively moderate. So low rainfall means moisture content is also less, and as a result it is not at all a good type of soil for cultivation. But if it is being treated properly through fertilizer, somewhere it can be cultivated. Oilseeds and millets, they require less moisture, so it can be cultivated with the addition of the fertilizers. Now the fourth category of the soil, laterite soil. The word laterite has been derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. So what does this indicate? Brick means, what is the color of a brick? Normally it is red. So what will you say? Ma'am, it is having a parent bedrock of brick. No. The parent bedrock is red sandstone from which the bricks have been formed. So that is why here the color is red, and another thing, here also the content of iron is more. Now how it is being formed? It is being formed by the process of leaching. Now what is leaching? Normally laterite soil is found in the areas of heavy rainfall. What did I said? Red soil is found in the areas of low rainfall, but laterite soil are found in the areas of heavy rainfall, and red soil are found in the plain lands, means a comparatively low gradient land where the slope is less, but laterite soil is found where the slope is more, in a comparatively higher gradient. Now if the rainfall is high and the slope is also high, what will be the resultant? Continuously the top layer of the soil will be drained out, will be removed by the runoff, by the running water. So the silica and the important nutrient part of the soil washed out, and what is left out? The iron content. So it is also a residual type of soil, and as a result the soil is also not a fertile one. Next, where it is found? It is found basically in the eastern and the western Ghats of the country and northeast India. And as it is also one of the sterile category of the soil, here the pastures, that is the grassland, and small shrubs are cultivated. Now the fifth category, mountain. The mountain soil, all the areas, whether it is the Himalayan region, whether it is the southern parts where the hilly regions are there, the mountain soil prevails in those mountainous areas. Now the color varies. It varies from yellowish color. If it is much more sandy in nature, then it is yellowish. If it is having rich content of humus, then it is comparatively moved towards the area, moved towards blackish tinge. If it is having much more in the areas where the rainfall is heavy, but due to that the continuous washing of the layer is there, then the iron content will give the reddish tinge of the soil. And in the areas of the that is Himalayan regions or the snowy covered areas, the soil covers appears like a white color. So the colors of the mountain soil varies according to the climatic condition of a region. So thus wise it does not possess a specific color. Now how it is formed? It is formed by the deposition of organic matter. That varies according to the deposition of organic matter. More the deposition of the organic matter, more the darker is the color or it's fertile, and less it is less fertile. It is given its characteristics, that is why rich in humus. Where it is more deposition, it is rich in humus. Now mountain soil means it's not a level land, it's a slopey area. So this is the mountain. In the upper reaches, the particles will be larger, and gradually when it is coming to the lower land of the reaches, the particles will be finer. So coarser in the upland areas, finer in the lower reaches or the lower gradients. Obviously, the Ghat regions and the Himalayan regions are there where the mountain soils are found. And what are the crops that is being cultivated? We know the tea gardens, the coffee, that is fazendas are there in the mountainous areas. The fruits, that is the orchards, are also there. The plantations are also there in the mountain areas. The spices are there, as well as the seasonal vegetables are also being cultivated in the mountain type of soil. Now the last one, arid soil. By the name arid is the desert areas where the climatic condition is totally dry. So when the climatic condition is totally dry, what do you think? During the day time, what will be the condition of the temperature? Temperature will be high. And during the night, temperature falls. You have already studied this thing in class 7. Day-night temperature variation. In which areas it is more, in which areas it is less. So in the arid areas, in the deserted regions, the day temperature is more, the night temperature is low. So what will be the resultant? During the day temperature, due to high temperature of the daytime, there is an expansion of the rocks, and during the night time there is the contraction of the rocks. So continuously, it is not a work of a one day, it is a work of year after year. So the resultant expansion and contraction breaks the rock particles. So this is termed as mechanical weathering of rocks. So this type of soil is formed due to mechanical weathering of rocks. Now, as arid areas, dry areas, so what is the resultant? Rainfall is very less, and as the rainfall is negligible, low, what is the size of the grains? It is coarser, it is comparatively bigger in size, it is sandy in structure and saline in nature. Saline means salty in nature. Why? Because here the calcium concentration is more in this type of soil. Thus wise it is saline in nature, and obviously it is basically not a fertile soil. So it does not contain moisture, it does not contain humus. And where it is found? It will be found in the states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and the leeward side. You have studied in the class 7 what is a leeward side, where there is lack of rainfall. Leeward side of the Western Ghat region. And the crops that is cultivated in this category of the soil with little bit of irrigation method, that is jowar, bajra and maize. So these are the three basic crops that can be cultivated with some sort of irrigational facilities. Now I am just pointing out everything with the help of this picture and the map. Now in the left hand side, you can see the color of the soil. The first one that I am pointing is the black soil. Now where the black soil is found in the India, it is found, you can see the dark shaded part of this map. This is the black soil region, and some small patches are also there, but the majority is there in parts of Gujarat. This is parts of Madhya Pradesh. This part is there in the that is Maharashtra region. In this area, the black soil is very much prominent. Next picture shows the laterite. I said laterite soil is found in the heavy rainfall region. So a very narrow fringes of laterite soil are there. You can see this narrow brown structure is there. This is the windward side of Western Ghat. Small patches are there in the eastern part also, and this northeastern areas also where the lateritic soil is found. Why? Because these are the areas where the rainfall is heavy. Red soil. You can see the map, this entirely over here. See the picture of the red soil and just see that the pinkish tinge that is given in this map, it covers a comparatively a southern part of our country and this northeastern part of the country. This is the red soil region. Now see the arid soil. It is basically found in the Rajasthan part of area and some part is there in the fringes of this, which has not yet been, it is not plotted over here because it's a very minor area. The major area for the arid soil is the desert part of the Rajasthan. Alluvial soil that covers the maximum area of our country. See this yellow tinge of this parts of Gujarat, narrow corridors of Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, parts of West Bengal, Assam and the eastern coastal plains and bit of western coastal plain where the alluvial soil is there. And the last, mountain soil. This entire northern fringes of our country where the alluvial soil is there. Now here it is basically Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, then comes Sikkim, northern part of West Bengal and northern fringes of Arunachal Pradesh. Now this Leh Ladakh region is also there, though it has divided into a different state. I am just saying this area as a one because I don't have that current map. So this is the entire part of the mountain where the mountain soil is found. Now the two island groups that are left out, both the island groups, this island group is having a black type of soil because it is volcanic in origin, and Lakshadweep, it is having a combination of the soil because it is not a so very fertile soil where it in the higher classes you will study about its formation. This type of soil possesses a color of soil that is basically which we can see in the arid type of the soil. This color, this is the color of the soil, that is, this is Lakshadweep is having this characteristics of the soil where the calcium concentration is more, so the color also more or less the same over here, which lacks vegetative cover. So this is the explanation with the color and the distribution of the soil type of our country. Now I have given three differences. I have given the entire note in that order. You will just do the work of the differences after noting down the notes that is given in the note 3 of this chapter. First difference, what is the difference between alluvial soil and black soil? Minimum 3 points and maximum as you can. But limited is 5 to 6 points, not more than that. Second, difference between red soil and laterite soil. Follow the video nicely, you will get all the points of differences. And the third one, difference between mountain soil and arid soil. So hopefully you will be able to do the work that I have given in the worksheet, and if you are having any queries, please comment out in the notes that I have already uploaded in the AGCS site. Thank you for following the class.